today's episode of PJ and the Beard, we're going to take a look at a guitar. But before we get into that, I'd like to ask you to consider subscribing to the channel, clicking on the notification bell. Your interaction with us helps us interact with great people in the industry. In today's video, it's PRS, and not even a recent relationship with PRS. We're going to take a look at the Beard's 2001 McCarty Hollowbody that has the very acoustic sounding and a Piezo pickup.
So what got us to get this down and do a video on a guitar that's 23 years old? Mm-hmm. Recently we did the new SE Hollowbody 2 Piezo guitar. And so we thought it'd be kind of cool to compare that to this one. So when we did that one, we did a bunch of clips for that. We did the same clips for this. There'll be a follow-up video where we kind of have both guitars in the same video.
Right.
But we thought, this guy deserves his own, or gal, or whatever.
That's right.
Guitar deserves its own video. Interestingly, full disclosure here, when we started recording all those clips, this guitar is 23 years old, and I've never really used the Piezo pickup a lot.
Yeah, not regularly, right? Yeah.
So we're recording it, and Pat was playing something, and there was this little kind of walk on the G string, and we realized, it wasn't picking up quite right. So we actually sent the guitar back to, well, we sent not back to, I guess it is back to. We sent it to PRS to their parts department.
PTC?
Yeah, the repair shop. And they fixed it up for us, and it's got back, and so now we can finally come back to getting back and finishing that video up. Super nice job. I feel like they didn't just do that. They might have tweaked some setup and stuff. It came back in really nice shape. It sounds really good. Should we tell them what we sent it to them in a Gibson box?
So there's some pretty funny emails back and forth.
Some funny emails about it showing up in a SG Junior box.
Well, for one of your prized possession, we wanted to make sure it got there safely, and the nicest box we had in hand was a Gibson box inside a box with a giant Gibson logo and a guitar silhouette on the outside of the box.
Sorry.
You're welcome.
Anyway, it didn't come back in that box.
Oddly enough.
Surprise.
I think they had a bonfire and roasted some marshmallows there in Stevensville.
Surprise. But anyway, they did a great job getting it back up, getting that fixed up for us. We really appreciate that. So, was there something else? Oh, yeah. You can tell that this video has been made at separate times over a long period of time. Periodically throughout the video, a Christmas tree might pop up. It's not Christmas. It's not even Christmas in July. But,
Might even see a fake beard on this side of me that doesn't really ever become much.
But the t-shirts are probably the same.
Yeah, that's right.
So why don't we start with some cleaned sounds?
Yeah, so every time we try a guitar, we go through all the pickup settings. This one has 3 on the magnetic pickups, and I think I start on the bridge at all times, I think. So these are the 3 pickup positions playing the same thing straight through.
So this guitar, the 2001 Hollowbody with a Piezo, is a little bit set up a little bit differently than the SE is. So the SE basically has 2 volume knobs and it controls. If you want to know how that works, go watch that video. Let me tell you how this one works. So on the back here, you still have the 2 outs and the battery compartment. This is pretty sweet the way they set this up.
23 years ago.
And then you have a little mini toggle. So what that mini toggle does, if it's all the way down, you're just in the magnetic pickups. Now, this is assuming we are plugged into the mix mag set out, going into Tyler. All the way down, just magnetic pickups. If you pop it up, it brings the Piezo pickup in and blends the 2. And then if you pop it up the whole way, it turns on just the Piezo. Mm-hmm. And then that's the volume knob for just the Piezo. But you can't like, I don't think you can like blend it back. Like when you're in the middle, I don't think you can roll this stack, or it just turns it on, I think.
I think that's correct.
And I think that's, so you did.
Yeah, so to start out, I did, I put it in the middle position just to get the magnetic pickups to just stay where they were. And I went through the 3 toggle switches there, mag, both, and then just piezo.
So when Pat got done doing that, I ran a mic cable over to a direct box. We plugged the second out, so just the piezo out, into the body res like we used with the SE. So just
a little tone shaping. Probably could have achieved some of it with the knobs, but because we're going to do a comparison video, we wanted it to be 1-to-1, so we just used the body res.
So ran out to that. That went direct straight to the computer. This still went to the Tyler. So he's going to do the exact same thing again, but now you have just magnetic. Then you have both, one going, the piezo going straight out to the computer, the other one back to the amp, and then flip it up straight into the computer. Sounds a little bit like this.
All right, so coming out of that, when we were recording this, I'm like, what does the piezo sound like if I play something that's potentially overtly acoustic sounding? Like this was kind of a countrified bluegrass-ish kind of thing. Trust me, I'm not a bluegrass player, but I wanted to see what would it sound like if I'm really approaching it as maybe just an acoustic guitar. So I played this little ditty, and it sounds like this. All right, so that last clip, if I didn't mention, it went directly into the computer. As a matter of fact, I was just listening to it acoustically because we weren't monitoring. We didn't put headphones on. The computer monitors are far enough away. But I thought, well, most of the time, if I were to play this or try that, I might not have a completely dedicated line sent to the front of house. So I wanted to see, like, what would the piezo sound like just sent to the Tyler? And what, in an effect, so, of course, I picked one of my favorite effects. I played a tremolo, the Caesar Diaz. And again, pretty much anytime you hear any echo on this channel, any delay, it's this. So this is the piezo into an amp.
DLS.
Yes,
Echo Tour.
Sorry.
In case you can't read it.
So that sort of wraps up the piezo chat version of this video. And now we're gonna get back to like the format we normally follow with a guitar that doesn't have that feature. We'll put it through some pedals, right? So of course I had to I grabbed the wrong pedal, although it's on there. I grabbed the Empress, the Red Witch Empress chorus pedal and the Lovepedal Eternity. And this was kind of modeled after something Andy Summers uses. He likes chorus. I love Andy Summers. I'm not Andy Summers, but I wanted to play something that might sound a little bit like that.
first pedal I grabbed thinking PRS. There's a thing with PRS lately, a band that I like. I said that in the other video too. So I grabbed from our Shakedown Sound series on envelope filters, I grabbed the Mu-Tron Micro-Tron 4 and tried that out. The lineage on this kind of matches the lineage of the band. You get the whole, those, what all the kids put? If you know, you know now.
Right.
If you know, you know.
We'll just say we're very grateful. All right, another thing we like to do when we're playing guitar is each one of us take it for a spin and a jam and play lead on it. So it was my turn to play the star of the show, and I wanted to go with something familiar, so I grabbed my original 808 because I really like how it sounds. I'm very comfortable with it, and of course, again, as mentioned before, that DLS Echo Tour through the Tyler.
Backing him up, PRS all the time tonight, right? So I grabbed the Silver Sky, did not plug it into the Tremonti because we had to send the Tremonti back. Right. It was back. We had to give it up. But you said, brought it out of retirement. The PV Classic 30 has been totally gone over recently. It sounds really nice.
It does sound good.
So went into that. I don't think I had any pedals on except for maybe Echo Tour 2. Not the second version of it.
2 here.
Yeah, A and B. I was on
one on my board.
The jam sounds a little bit like this. I'm just taking a tour of some of my favorite series tonight. So series number 2 for me is the Leslie Sound series, and I grabbed the Micro-Vent the Micro-Vent from Neo Instruments. This is the 122 simulator, and played it with the PRS. Sounds a little bit like this.
All right, so I've already played it with a drive on the Jam, but I always like to see how guitars take pedals. So I grabbed the Xotic Effects Soul Driven off the shelf and played something more of an aggressive rhythm type thing, and this is what it sounds like.
So for my last clip, I grabbed the our B Custom pedal. So if you don't know about B Custom, go to Barber Electronics, check that out. It looks like a typical direct drive, but it's actually B Custom. When Dave started doing B Custom stuff, we started talking about it anyway, I challenged him, like, could you do a version 1 direct drive in a small box?
Can you shove this into there?
Yeah. And he accepted the challenge, apparently. So the Barber Electronics Direct Drive version 1 B Custom.
All right, we're going to get into the final jam here, and I think I know what guitar you played. I'm pretty sure, and I think I know what amp you played.
Right.
What pedal did you use?
So, even though we have a small box version 1, I did grab a really, this is like the first iteration of the direct drive. So let's red light down here and stuff. Just because sometimes, I mean, I know exactly where I want this pedal to go, and I wanted to see with the guitar. So yeah, direct drive version 1, Echo Tour, Tyler. You were backing me up on. You had a nice little setup going on.
Yeah, the Silver Sky with the DLS Echo Tour through the PV, but I had the Eternity drive from Lovepedal out for one of the other clips and put it on and used it for the rhythm on here, and it's a different sound. It's a different.
This is cool. It sounded good.
Yeah, it's different.
I liked it. So final thoughts on PRS 2001 PRS McCarty with Piezo on it.
It's if there's one guitar down here that's not mine that I would like to walk out of this room with, it's that one. It's always been that one. And you talked about not using the Piezo regularly. I do remember one time at the church where we did plug it in and send one to the front of house and it was like, man, it sounded really good. It was really my first experience with a Piezo pickup, and thought, wow, that's really great. So any excuse that we're going to compare SEs to this, we wanted to do that. And there was a failure point, like you said, in the G string. It was really funny. Not even quite sitarish, just the volume level was way down. Mm-hmm. So it's not like I haven't maybe played it before, but to get it back from PRS with probably a new bridge with the Piezo and be able to explore the whole thing, I thought it was great. And I felt like neither one of us, I won't steal anything you're going to say, neither one of us had any trouble finding inspiration playing that guitar. Tonight. It was just, it sounded good. The neck profile, it's home base in some ways for both of us because we both play PRSs a lot. And I think the neck profile, you heard him accidentally bump it, the acoustic sound of it without it being plugged in is pretty magical, and it's only gotten better with age. It's great. It's a great guitar, and it's a good looking guitar.
So, and I guess we'll compare it to when we do the SE. We'll spend more time feelings between it and the SE. One thing, this guitar is so light. Like the first time I ever picked it up, I was like, "What?" I don't know that I've ever felt a guitar that light.
You remember when Prince played My Guitar Gently Weeps and it just like disappeared? Yeah. It's like you go to put that on and you got to pull it back down.
It is ridiculous how light it is. I don't know how light it actually is, but it just feels so light. This is hollow. It's a hollow body. It's not a hollow body with a big chunk of wood down the middle. It's a little hollow body, literally a hollow body. Sometimes it worries me, like if I throw it in a gig bag or something, like if somebody sneezes, is it gonna, because it is that light and that thin, and it's so.
That's why it was shipped in a Gibson box back to PRS.
Right. That's why we had it double boxed in it. We had it in the case double boxed. They're probably like, what are these guys doing? I just didn't want anything to happen to it. So, I don't know if it's just like been parted from it for so long because we haven't had it out for months and months and months.
Yeah, and your number one pretty much is.
I mean, it was before Christmas.
Yes.
Like it was probably heads to Christmas tree. Yeah. And then there was like this period of time where I know I needed to ship it and make contact to figure that out. But like months went by before I did it. And then I shipped it and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I guess my final thought is it's a guitar I've owned since, I've owned for several years. I did not buy this one new in 2021. 2001. My son was born in 2001. I thought my Swamp Ash and my McCarty were 2001s, only to find out a year later they were 2000s. They were bought the year he was born, but they're not his birth year guitar. When this guy popped up, I was like, ooh, that's his birth year guitar. And it's a McCarty. So yeah. Not going to dive down the rabbit hole of comparing it to the SE tonight. I'm not telling you that. I'm telling myself that. Like, don't do it. So I don't think I have a lot more to say. We had this final jam coming up. Anything to add? Are we done?
I think we're done. I mean, we'll just continue to gush about it because there's nothing bad about it at all.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing your reactions on the video where we compared this to the SE. I'm going to say that out loud because I think I'm looking forward to your reaction. So watch for that probably maybe 2 weeks after this video. So if this came out, you're watching this on Saturday, it'll be 2 weeks later. So with that, thanks for watching. Thanks for clicking that like button, hitting the subscribe button, notification bell, any of that stuff. Anytime you do that, helps us interact with cool companies and grow the channel and just like bring cool stuff to share with you, even if it is 24 years old or 23 years old. So with that,
I'm PJ on behalf of the Beard, reminding you no matter what you hear, you never have too much gear.